Chinese isn't hard. The way most people learn it is. Most beginners, the way they start is with like apps like Duolingo, textbooks, or just vocab lists. And months later, they still cannot hold a basic conversation. So what if I told you that you could actually reach a basic conversational level in Chinese in just 6 to 12 months, without grinding flashcards, without worrying about tones, and without memorizing thousands of characters? If you're someone who wants to speak Chinese with their friends, their partner, or when traveling, or maybe you're a heritage Chinese, your parents came from China, you live in the States, in Canada, or UK, and you can understand a bit, but you still can't speak it, then this video is for you. Because in this short video, I'm going to show you how complete beginners can go from nothing to having simple, easy, meaningful conversations in just 6 to 12 months, using the same natural learning process that babies do. And I know this works because I went through the same struggle myself. I started learning Chinese 4 years ago. But like most beginners, I started with Duolingo, Hello Chinese, Super Chinese, and then I asked my girlfriend whenever I wanted to learn like a random word. And so that taught me random words. But that's not really enough to have actual, real conversations where you can go back and forth. When my girlfriend, Jifei, who is also the founder of Xiaogua Chinese, she showed me a completely different way to learn and actually understand how to learn. Because she's a linguist who speaks 8 languages and has been teaching Chinese for over the last 10 years. Instead of studying, I started learning through immersion and speaking practice. And the only reason I hadn't done this before is that I wasn't really serious about making it a priority. But then, within months, I was having 20 to 30-minute conversations without hesitation. And since then, we've also helped over 300 students reach conversational fluency in 6 to 12 months. This video, specifically, is for people just getting into Chinese or have tried a bit, but are still beginners and can't express themselves too much. 我叫 Oscar， 我是 小国 Chinese 团队的一员。12个月前，我开始跟小国 Chinese 学习中文，现在已经中国人能听不懂说的话。That means my name is Oscar. I'm part of the Xiaogua Chinese team. 12 months ago, I started learning with Xiaogua Chinese and using our methods. And now, Chinese people understand what I say, and that is fucking cool. And that's why I wanted to make this video to be an example. I'm not perfect, I'm not fluent yet, but if you want to be able to make yourself understood and comfortably navigate simple situations in Chinese, then this video is for you. For example, one of our students who was in ABC, who could understand Chinese, but couldn't really speak at all because they didn't learn it since childhood. They always felt awkward around their grandparents because they couldn't really express themselves. But after about 6 months of just using this method, he was able to have full conversations with his family. And for him, that's life-changing. It's as simple as that. Here's the problem with how most people learn Chinese. They study vocabulary, they use apps, they memorize characters, but those methods teach you about Chinese, not how to speak it or how to learn effectively. When you learn naturally through immersion and speaking, you stop translating in your head. You start recognizing, and speaking becomes automatic. Before we go further, we need to address 3 big myths about learning Chinese, because these myths stop most people before they even begin. Because if you were thinking that Chinese is the hardest language in the world, but that's only because of the characters and the pronunciation. Chinese grammar is actually much simpler than English. There's no verb conjugations, no plurals, no complex tenses. The real problem isn't the language, it's the way that people are taught. Second myth, that you must master tones before speaking. Many beginners are afraid of tones. But here's the truth. Everyone has an accent when they start learning a language, in any language. What matters the most is being able to communicate and use vocabulary. When you have enough vocabulary, people can actually understand you because of the context. And your pronunciation naturally improves over time, because the better you can understand, the better you can speak. So focus on understanding and increasing your vocab instead of worrying about pronunciation from day one. Myth number 3, you must memorize thousands of characters. Most people think that they need to memorize thousands of characters before speaking Chinese, because that's what textbooks do. But that is backwards. How did you learn language as a kid? Did your mom just hold you a book in front of you and say, speak English? No. Children don't learn characters first, same in Chinese. They learn to speak first. Reading and writing comes later. And the same approach works for adults. There's a different path. The flowing to fluency method. Learning like a human, not like a student trying to pass an exam. My journey started because of my girlfriend. She is Chinese, and when we started to grow this school together, I realized I couldn't even communicate with her family. That sucked. I tried apps. That didn't work. But once I switched the methods and actually took this seriously, everything changed. And I wasn't the only one, of course. It's not uncommon that students, they might learn for 4 to 8 years in university, but they still cannot speak Chinese. We had an Italian student like this. She had done her major in Chinese language studies, but after 4 years, she had just passed her exams, but still could not express herself. She could read fine, but speaking would have the hesitation always. But then when she started learning like a baby with us, she started to understand much more easily, and within 8 months could actually have fun, simple conversations with the Chinese friends around her. No more being shy, actually having the confidence to express herself. If you want to become conversational in Chinese, there are 3 things that you need to do. And this is exactly what we built into our Flowing to Fluency system. Firstly, the accelerated absorption system. Step number 1 is you need to fill your brain with the right Chinese input. Instead of memorizing random textbook vocab, you absorb 50 to 100 real-life words every week that are relevant to your life. There are 3 keywords there. First of all, having something structured, so you're doing 50 to 100 every week, and then relevant, and then listening. That's what's gonna make your brain retain. You do this through passive and active listening. Your brain starts recognizing words faster and faster. Think of it like filling a bucket of water. The fuller the bucket, the easier it is to pour it out when you want to speak. Second thing, the rocket speaking system, because fluency is like a muscle. You build it through reps. And to build a muscle, we don't just go to the gym once whenever we feel like it. We've got to work on it consistently. So from day 1, our students begin speaking Chinese doing 2 to 4 times per week, using guided speaking practice that simulates real-life situations. We use what we call basically light reps and heavy reps. Light reps build confidence. Heavy reps push you to use new vocab in real conversations, reviewing what we know to reinforce it, using new vocab so we expand our vocab. The third thing, also extremely important, is the structured progression. One of the biggest problems beginners face is not knowing what to learn. So we remove that completely. Each week, you just follow a clear structure. You focus on a vocab that is a little bit more difficult. It's called the N+1 theory, learning about 50 to 100 carefully selected words. This way you always know what to study. You stay accountable. You can start discovering how you personally learn language fast. Now at this point, you might be wondering, how do I remember vocab long-term? How do I understand native speakers when they speak quickly? How do I stop translating in my head? And how do I stay consistent long enough to become fluent? And that's exactly why we created the Conversational Fluency Program. Because the Conversational Fluency Program is our complete system designed to guide beginners step by step to conversational fluency in Chinese. Inside the program, you'll follow the exact framework we talked about today. You'll build vocabulary using the accelerated absorption system. You'll develop real speaking ability using the rocket speaking system, and you'll follow a structured progression so you always know exactly what to do next. Instead of studying Chinese for years without speaking, you'll start having real conversations from day 1. And this isn't just theory. Like one of our students, Maverick, who had been dabbling with apps like Chairman's Bow, Duolingo, even listening to random YouTube videos, but within 4 months, he was already having simple conversations with his girlfriend's parents. And by the end, he was traveling to China and actually enjoying understanding what people say when he was traveling there. No apps, no trying to memorize random characters, just a right system. Because the truth is, if you keep learning Chinese the traditional way, you'll probably stay stuck, downloading new apps, trying to memorize words, and then studying for months or even years, but without even being able to have conversations. And if your goal is to connect with your partner's family, travel to China, and just feel like you can actually use this language to even possibly reconnect with your culture, then that frustration can last for a very long time. I speak to people who have learned for like 10 or 20 years, and they still don't have the confidence. It's crazy. It still blows my mind. In summary, keep filling up your bucket of water through comprehensible inputs. The more you fill up, the more you can pour it out. And that's where you need to practice speaking. Not randomly, very intentionally with whatever you pour in. And if you're the type of person that's ready, wants guidance, to actually start speaking Chinese naturally, just click the link below to apply to join our Conversational Fluency Program. We'll review the application and see if it's the right fit, because it is for people who want to actually speak Chinese. You'd think that people who have a 2,000-day streak on Duolingo want to speak Chinese, but that app is just really good at like acting like a game. Fluency still requires you to show up and practice, but it doesn't need to be that hard. If you're someone who wants to challenge yourself and grow, and you're serious about speaking Chinese fluently, we'd love to help you get there. Just click the link below now. 再见.